What's up, everybody? Kafka here, and today we're doing a midday stream to see what's going on in Season 5. We got the Campfire chat coming up in about 25 minutes, so we're excited. Hopefully we get some really good news on the Campfire chat. Should be glorious. We'll see. We will see shortly. Been waiting all week for this, man. Waiting all week for this. Let's freaking go. I think there's gonna be some big changes, man. I think the community has spoken and they want some changes around masterworking, around tempering. I think there's some good stuff that we're gonna see. I'm really excited to see what happens. Hopefully we could get some sick reactions for some Sork stuff. Usually what happens is they'll have all the notes right after from the Campfire chat, so we'll go through that too if they post it right after. Hopefully they do. Where's the 30 million ticks? They're there. They're there. It works. It works. Oh my gosh. You got me killed, Cyber. It's just not ready. It's not fully baked yet. It's not fully baked yet. And Daryl's Visage is very good. Just gotta figure out the right build with it. You need to do it with Firewall, I think. You get a like? I appreciate that. No, I think that the best is with a burning build, and I don't have a burning build ready, like gear-wise, because it takes forever to temper and masterwork gear. I was working on a Chain Lightning cameo build, which actually is pretty fun. I actually enjoy playing. It isn't as strong as the Frozen Orb, but it's like with crackling energy, so you just kind of like run around and everything dies. And then you pick up the orbs and they explode. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I can show you guys it. We only got 20 minutes though. We got the Campfire chat coming up. Some big changes coming to Diablo 4 Season 5. Hopefully we get the PTR next week. That's the dream. If we can get the PTR next week, that would keep us all excited. They kind of need to do that, right? Because Elden Ring's out, Destiny's coming out. They need to put out the PTR so people still play Diablo. I think that's what needs to happen, I believe. Anyone agree with that? Can we agree with that? Can you say it? Man, it's a beautiful day outside. It might rain though, where I'm at. I was like, man, I should go golfing after this Campfire chat. Hit some golf balls. That would be the dream. I'm testing out Holy Bolts. I haven't used it yet. Jeez, pay attention. Pay attention or you're gonna die, Kelka. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed of the I have to pay attention to my health, to my flame shield bar every time. Like, look at me dying. That's so silly. So silly. We're gonna make a build without it. It's so annoying that you have to have the flame shield up. We don't like it. Like, I don't even want to go in there yet. Now I'll go in there. My dude's scared, man. My dude's scared. Oh, did I take... I think I took off. I did take off. Oh, no, I got it. I got it. Who's this dude? Here, I'll show you guys the Chain Lightning build after this guy. why you need lucky hit. Lucky hit's so for frozen orb. The lucky hit's huge. All my summons, which I have 13 up right now, they cast frozen orbs with lucky hit. Lucky hit is huge. How was it, Simple? Let me show you this build real quick. We'll go back to town. I'll show you this chain lightning build with the cameo. It's not fully baked yet, but like it's not masterworked. I have to take some gear off this guy though to make it work. What's up, Duck? In the chat, hanging out. It's not a normal stream night. We actually started vacation a little early from work. So we got off till next Tuesday. Defense feels decent too. How fast could you clear the pit? Oh, happy birthday, Doug. Happy birthday. My birthday is on the 29th, so we got close birthdays, man. 8 days away. Got 8 days for my birthday. I did like Incinerate. Incinerate was a good time. All right, we're gonna do this. Oops. Put that on. Wait, did I not take off the Shaco? Yeah, I did. So this should give me decent. So I got damage reduction to close. This build's a little bit more tanky actually, because I got damage reduction there, damage reduction there, damage reduction there. I guess I don't need as much lucky hit. Let's put more damage reduction on. Let's just see if we put reduction. Oh, should I use Veer's Mastery? Should I use that? Vulnerable? Oh yeah, that's probably it. Alright, so now this build doesn't really have unlimited flame shield anyway, so it's good to use that. But this is the cameo build. We'll do 89. We're not getting too crazy here. We got a campfire chat to worry about. Oh, I had lucky hit there. So that's a lot of damage reduction on the boots, on the legs, on the chest, on the helm. Like, how much more damage reduction could you get? I guess I could do... Oh, you know what I should do? I should get this. This is actually good. Yeah, I think Incinerate would be better. So this is what... So what the deal with this build is you gotta just get a bunch of crackling energy around, and then you start blowing them up. You gotta get all that crackling energy, and then you walk all over it, boom, they die. Actually, this might be able to be pretty tanky. So I gotta get all that crackling energy out. I gotta get all that crackling energy. Look at all that crackling energy. Then you just explode them all up. So you get all the crackling energy. Boom, blew them up. Crackling energy, energy. So you just walk around, pick them up. Big crits. Oh, I gotta kill this guy though. You gotta kill these guys. I like it with these boots too. Yeah, with these boots, right now I only have a 1080. bonus damage. Pick them up. Blow them up. More crackling energy, the better. Actually, I feel pretty tanky with this damage reduction that I have. You gotta walk around. I don't like that you can't evade through the crackling energy. You have to actually pick it up. You have to actually walk over it. I don't love that. That's kind of annoying. Flicker steps might work with Frozen Orb. Maybe you could just go full damage reduction on Frozen Orb too. Because I'm not really getting slapped at all with this much damage reduction. It's not terrible. It's not bad. 12 minutes, y'all. 12 minutes. Got to figure out the fate of the future of the Sork and other things. I'm curious what the Citadel mechanic's gonna be. Mr. Understood, what's up, man? Wondering how what would work with Blizzard. Trying to figure out what everything makes, what scales with everything with the cameo. See, when that starts critting, man, it's nuts. Look at this guy. You just walk around, boom, he's dead. Actually, this damage reduction feels really nice, though. Holy crap. Flicker stops Shaco, the chess piece, like Duck was saying. Man, you get some decent... I'm not generating a ton of crackling energy, though. I'm not sure why. I was getting a lot more. I mean, it's decent, but... I always have my ultimate up, which is a good thing. Lightning instead of fire with Blizzard. And crackling. The only thing is, it stinks because you want to use ice spikes on your neck, usually, for Blizzard. So you'd have to sacrifice that. Maybe use a two-handed weapon? Possibly? Maybe? There's some pretty big crits. Alright, so what I like to do is just stack them all up. Stack all the little crackling energies up. And then run around and pick them up when I got my flame shield on. Look at the big explosion. Or wait till they stagger. So crack them all up for the stagger. All the stagger. Walk around. Oh, that was a terrible one. I didn't get much there. That was not much. That was more. There you go. That was more. Alright, let's get the stagger. Man, you get the cooldown is actually really good on this. Just takes a lot longer than Frozen Orb to kill. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was somewhat balanced. Oh my gosh, guys. We died at the last second. We died at the last second. That was silly. Why?
cannot use that.
damage is a lot less because I need to figure out how to incorporate using raiments. I think that would make this way better. It's just, it doesn't, it's, yeah, we need a burning damage. Wow. Oh, what happened? What happened to the cam? That's weird. That is weird. Put 1 point in flame. Yeah, I should do that. Let me get my camera working. Well, that's weird. I could do that for now until I figure it out. All right, I just want to kill this guy real quick. Yeah, I just gotta pour it out. I'm trying to be greedy. See, sometimes it just doesn't proc. It's so silly. And then other times like that, it procs all the time. They need to raise it to 30% proc rate. That would make the item really good. See, sometimes like that, that was good. That was really good damage. What's up, Stefano? You here for the watch party? Yeah, my green screen went away for some reason. We gotta figure that out. I mean, I don't care. I just like the green screen so it doesn't take up most of the... I don't like taking up a big part of the screen. That's why I do the green screen. I don't care what's like... There's not much to it. Yeah, I mean, still things are not maxed out too on this build, so... It's kind of weak. It's kind of weak! It's the weekend. Want to get my take? All right, yeah. That's what we're doing, man. I like it. All right, let's see what is going on here. Why my green screen's jacked up? Why is my green screen jacked up, y'all? Might not have it. Might not have it. There it goes. There I am. Whoa. Why am I so big? Fixed it. All right, we fixed it. All right, let's we got 4.5 minutes, y'all. 4.5 minutes, and we're gonna turn it on. I do still want to figure out. Man, I felt really tanky though, and I think you could feel even more tanky if you pick this up. Cause I have that 30% less damage there. I have that. Dude, you could get super tanky. Do I really need to stun him? No, I mean that's pretty good to stun. Yeah, it's definitely stun. Stun's good. This is good too, actually. Running out of stuff to put. You run out of points, man. They need to give us more points. I know, Vern. Let's go. Let's get some good news for Sorks, please. Sorks. Come on, Sorks, baby. Sorks. Don't make me make a barb. I'd never. I'd never. We never make a bar, baby. We gotta stay Sork life. Sork life for good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to make this that much better. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's that great. It's good, but it's not great. It's good for Sork, I guess. What about this? Should we do an incinerate build with the Harlequins? Is that what we should do next? Or I mean, with the not the Harlequins, with the Endurials? Is that gonna work? You got to get a bunch of slow stuff. Like you got to have lucky chance to slow, because that's the problem with incinerate. They would just run right at you. You got 8 minutes. Incinerate is pretty fun. I do like incinerate. Let's see. What does it show? Do they show anything? I say March. Oh, this is an old one. Where's the new one? Oh, they're live. Oh yeah, 8 minutes. Mine says 2 minutes. It's actually 8. You're right. Timer's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong. It's 7 minutes 43 seconds, guys. I was I was looking at the wrong timer here. Let's reset this to 7 minutes 30 seconds. Oh, that was perfect. I actually did it perfect with it. Starting soon, 7 minutes 30 seconds. Heck yeah. And then we just have to do this. And we swap right over. Where is it? And we swap right over. Boom. That's it. Right there. 7 minutes. Like I got the timer right now. Cool. So we can play a little bit longer. I think they're going to do a... Showing 2 minutes. Yeah, yeah. All right, let's Sork and Druid. Yes, please, please, please buff Sork and Druid. Let's upgrade a couple pieces of gear while we're here. Take 56. Oh, I should upgrade these flicker steps. I think flicker steps are actually pretty good. That's what we should upgrade. And we want to get we should damage reduction to close. We should get that in them. Yeah, ultimate damage isn't good. We gotta reset that. We gotta reset that. We want movement speed or we want ultimate damage. That's it. I like flicker steps. I'm a fan. We'll do 100. We'll do 50. Alright, let's reset these. We need to get master working. Oops. Dude, clicks. I click so fast, man. What would it go up on? All stats? Don't want that. But Sork and Druid. I don't think they're gonna nerf anything. Oh, actually, they probably will nerf some stuff. Because they only do it at the start of the season, they said. What? All stats twice? Come on. Nerf master crafting. Holy crap. What? You know how many times I reset my master crafting gear? Takes forever. What'd I get? Ultimate damage. I've only gotten all stat or ultimate damage. Damage reduction. That's what we wanted. Can we get it again? Okay, we'll take movement speed. That's fine. That's good. And then this. Oh, we already got that. These are actually pretty good. Server rollback due to Zerbug? What does that mean? What's up, Sorg? Hi. Max says hi. He says, what's up? Server rollback. Oh, I was like, what? That's funny. Yes, and stages, man. I've been talking about that. Do we have time to do one more? Should we do one more? We don't want to miss anything. Maybe we'll just, well, maybe we'll pick out some gear that we could work with Incinerate. Maybe we make an Incinerate build in a little bit. Discord link isn't working? Should be. Let me update it. Discord, invite, people, copy. Boom. PoE, is the new one out? Is the new PoE out? I don't think it is, right? Discord. Oh. Oh. The new one's getting some hype, isn't it? I think it is. Alright, I saved this new Discord link. Does Discord links change? Like, there's no way. Like, did they change the link? They might. Oh yeah, it's gonna be PS5. I forgot about that. Yeah, it is very in depth. Very in depth. Or is it gonna be better just to use Firewall? That's the question. That is the question. I think we gotta get rid of the crackling energy and just try a chain lightning tanky build. The chain lightning tank god. I think we have to do it. Because it wouldn't be that hard to try it out now. It'd be an easy switch. But what would we put on the neck? Oh, we need the chain lightning ability. We could put... What do we put on the neck if we did that? Oh, Mini Top, what's up? Let's go. You ready? She's wild, man. Nice. PoE 1 is just... I can't get behind the graphics. I don't know. I'm kind of a graphics snob on some stuff. Oh, you know what we could use for this tanky build? We have a really good neck piece. Look at this neck. This glass cannon. That neck is sweet. We'd have to redo the whole build though. Because what we put here... We'd have to put something offensive here. Something to do some crazy damage. Oh, Chop's here. What's up, Chop? Mini and Chop. We could do this. Oh, that'd probably be really good. Put that on there. 45 more vulnerable damage. 30 more vulnerable damage. Straight up. And then we gotta get rid of... We'd have to get rid of some stuff. We don't need ceaseless. We did some goofy things in the Paragon tree here. We got this. This is kind of goofy. We would have to switch all this around. Alright, but we only got 11 minutes, so... We gotta go to the campfire chat. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna take notes. I'm gonna be taking notes. Oh. Dismiss. Wait, it says 7 minutes. Oh, I was about to say.
Item changes are some of the biggest.
Introduce yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, sure thing. Hi,
Do we
I'm
miss
Dan
some stuff?
Tagway, and I'm one of the lead seasons designers for Diablo 4. And yeah,
Okay,
we've
we're
got a
good.
lot of
We're
exciting
good. We're
stuff to
good.
share with you.
Awesome. Great to hear from Dan. Dan is kind of like melting in Albany. I believe it's very, very warm up there. It's actually warmer there than California, which is kind of crazy. But
it is. Yeah.
Is it loud enough for everyone?
Adam and Adam.
Ooh, I love it.
We did it.
No more Joes.
Yeah, no more Joes. Where's Joe?
Just tell us what's going on.
Not here.
Just tell us what's going on.
He's actually on vacation.
That's for my notes.
That's the reason why he's not here. But we have a lot to talk about today. We are actually going to be talking about Season 5 in the PTR. And we do want to, there's been a lot going on with Diablo 4 over the last couple months. Obviously, Season 4 has launched. We had our mid-season update last week. We introduced pets. Which is really cool. Just no one expected it, but we did introduce pets within Season 4. And at the same time, we also had our release date announcement for Vessel of Hatred, which is October 8th. Yep. So lots and lots and lots of cool stuff that's going on with Diablo 4. And we have more to share today, but of course, with PTR, we do need to talk like a little bit of the housekeeping stuff to make sure that players are aware of it and when it's going to start.
Come on, let PTR happen on.
We have Season 5 PTR actually starting next Tuesday, and that is on the 25th. It will run for 1 week, similar to the Season 4 PTR.
Oh, shoot,
it is
Tuesday.
PC Battle.net only again. It is just easier for us to be able to get builds up and get things out and get feedback in really quickly when we have it on PC Battle.net. So that will be going live next Tuesday. Everything that we're talking about today will be in a blog that will go live after the stream, as well as patch notes will be going live after the stream. And
where's the Xboxers?
Pretty beefy
Where's the
themselves.
PlayStation?
I don't know. It's Friday, you guys.
Chop, I see some Sea of Thieves coming your way next week.
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a long while. For feedback, though, we will be opening up our PTR forums for players to actually be able to submit feedback. So the Diablo 4 forums will have a special section for PTR. And then separately, if you do want to leave feedback on other avenues, such as like Reddit or the Community Sanctuary Discord, places like that, we most definitely end up like combing through all the different various ways of players being able to provide feedback specifically from that end. For this PTR, we will note that
provide information.
This one will be a little different than Season 4 in regards to how you can start off characters. There will still be character boosts like what we had with the Season 4 PTR. I believe it's actually moved to a different city. I can't recall. I think we had it in Kiovoshad before, and I believe it's in a different city, and I don't recall which city it is. It's in the blog, though. But all that information will be there after the stream. Separately, we did incorporate a character copy feature.
You want feedback? Here
we
is your
initiated
feedback.
This character copy already.
More feedback?
No one knows this, but as of yesterday, characters were copied from your accounts over to PTR. So it gives you a little bit of variety of being able to take over some of those characters that you've already built out. Or, you know, if you want to, you can still use the character boost. Yep. I will note, we do want players to be experiencing it in like a variety of ways, like whether using your current characters that we're copying over, or if you're using some of the character boosts. We do recommend, or if you want to level up from level 1, too, like that's another option as well. It allows us to get feedback from all different aspects, so we do recommend trying it out in different ways and providing feedback of like how things feel, how things flow within the PTR itself. So that is all kind of like the general housekeeping notes that we do have. Oh, and I will say that I believe we actually did. We did correct that Codex of Power reset thing as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I
remember that.
Thank you.
That
the
was
Codex Power issue is going to be fixed.
Some people last season we did correct that, so it won't reset. I believe every single time you end up like creating a new character or boosting a new character, I believe. And then separately on the forums, we will have a known issues list. Because it's PTR, it's an early build, so we want to make sure that people are aware of that. And with PTR, when we take in feedback, it's great for players to be able to like provide all various forms of feedback. I will say by the time Season 5 launches, we will try our best to get as much of that feedback in. if it's something that's like a massive, like, oh, like a huge overhaul or something like that, I wouldn't expect it in season 5, but it is good to hear that feedback because it might be something that we end up incorporating maybe in the future for like a future season from that end.
Feedback synonyms.
So
But,
it'll
yeah.
also drive future decisions.
Send 'em
and even
some
we did a
sentiments
lot
for
of
feedback.
reaction to PTR feedback in season 4. If I remember right, we did like a whole lot on our team at least, and I expect the same for season 5. So
Exactly.
send it in; it's very useful.
And then one last thing I do want to note is because players have probably
Should I put
seen
myself right
when
here?
season 4 is
Like I'm
ending,
here?
which is currently in early August. You can see that kind of like on your
So I'm like in the
character
middle of
select
them?
screen when you're jumping into the game. I will note that season 5 is a little bit shorter of a season than what we've had beforehand. Season 5
They ain't
itself
nerfing the Sork.
will run until that October 8th date.
If I'm
with
looking this
Vessel
way,
of
does it look
Hatred,
like I'm
because
looking at
Vessel
him?
of Hatred
You
is
better
actually the
buff
start
that
of season
Sork,
6.
baby.
So
You better buff that
we
Sork.
did want to at least clarify, make sure, because we've heard a lot of those questions of like, hey, is Vessel of Hatred hitting in the middle of season 5, things like that. So we did want to note that from that end. But enough of the housekeeping notes. I know a lot of players want to hear about season 5 in itself. And so Mr. Dan Tanguay from the sweltering city
Dan's got a nice haircut, bro.
Albany will be
Me and Dan, let's
walking
talk,
us
Dan.
through
Let's talk about it.
season 5.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Me and you, bro.
absolutely. So yeah, let's dive into the new features on PTR for season 5. Just to give you a little bit of context, we did some early brainstorming for season 5, and we knew that, we needed to build out the end game. So end game, we've heard y'all that end game is very important. And season 4, we added the pit into the end game, and some people have been playing Helltides into the end game, but we still want to expand the end game a bit more, right? So if it's an end game activity, we definitely need something that's rewarding and very replayable. We also wanted to make something with a lot of monsters.
everything before it's
Monster
nerf
density
it.
and just entering that feeling of flow state's really
That's
important
funny.
for players. We needed something that had stakes, and we wanted players to push their luck. And finally, we really wanted to return to hell. Previous Diablo games let you return to hell after you defeat the big boss, but Diablo 4 hadn't done that yet. And so with all those goals in mind, let me introduce you to the Infernal Hordes. Now, let me give you a quick summary of what the Infernal Hordes is.
Oh, snap.
It's a wave-based gameplay mode with survivor-like choices in between the waves, and it'll culminate with an all-new boss encounter. And then the rewards build on top of itemization 2.0 that came in season 4.
Melt to
So
4090.
now, how do you go about confronting the Internal Hordes? How do you get back to hell? I think we can queue up some footage, and then I'll talk you through some of the ways
we're
to
gonna
get
get some
back to
footage,
hell.
baby. Let's go.
All right. First off, you're going to unlock, the activity for hell with a brisk Eternal quest line starting at World Tier 3.
Guaranteed greater
Zarbanzet.
effects drops
That's where
that
you
cost.
need to go in the PTR.
Oh.
Now you need a new type of key called a compass, which you can see down in the inventory
man, I need to
below
screenshot
here.
that.
And like Nightmare Dungeons, the compasses all have a starting monster difficulty and a number of revives. And there are 8 levels of difficulty with escalating challenge and rewards. As you can see, it's a very Nightmare Dungeon-like
that looks cool
flow
when you
here.
summon it.
And then compasses can be upgraded to higher tiers with all new consumables called Abyssal
I know. It
Scrolls.
said that you
So
get
you'll
greater
get a chance
effects
to play with all
guaranteed.
these new features when you're in the PTR. But let's really talk about the gameplay itself. And I think we've got some footage of the wave-based play that we can show off here. First off, gonna have a lot of monsters. Now, you have one monster here. This is the start of
Dude, that
wave
looks like
1.
Diablo.
And so you defeat this Aether Fiend, and it's going to drop something called Burning Aether, which is a new currency. Now, this new currency is specific to Hell, and you use it to unlock the spoils of Hell at the end of a run. And at the end of each wave, there's going to be what's called the Infernal Offer. So let's get through this wave, and we'll take a look at the Infernal Offer. Now, you see these hands reaching out from Hell itself, and they're tempting you with a choice. You're going to choose the form of your destructor. You're going to pick a boon and a bane that impacts the rest of your run. And so now you've chosen a boon and a bane, and yeah, that's going to modify the gameplay that comes up next. And so here you're jumping into one of the new activities that also unlocks Aether in
Per
this.
hit. Nice.
And this is a Soul Spire. It's pretty similar to a Hell Spire that you'd see in Helltide. And you have to kill a number of enemies within that ring in order to be able to earn an Aether. And you can upgrade Soul Spires from the Infernal offer as well if you like. And then finally, what you need to do is complete the number of waves in order to be able to confront the boss. And so you see in this particular run, you're at 5 of 5 waves. So you are just about ready once you defeat this wave to go confront the new bosses for the Infernal hordes. So we'll finish collecting our Aether here, find our last number of enemies, and I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. So let's take a look at our new bosses. I think we've got some cool art to share here. So
new bosses?
these are the
Okay.
Fell Council. They're going to be some familiar faces for Diablo 2 players. They are resurrected versions of the council members from Diablo 2.
Oh, the
And
council.
for those of you who didn't play Diablo 2, the council members were
yeah, it
former
did look
high
bad.
priests of the Zakarum. And they had promised to basically take care of Mephisto after he'd been trapped in the Soul Stone.
I got you,
And he'd
man. I
been
got
hidden
you.
down and
Those were cool.
harassed
The
in
council guys.
Travinco.
That was in.
And
gosh, what zone was
of
that
course,
in?
as it happens,
Starts with a T,
Mephisto
I think.
corrupted them, both in mind first and then their bodies, and they became demons who are just zealous and
I know.
serve
What was
him
the level, like
without
40?
question. And so we thought it was going to be really cool to be able to resurrect them and
Travinco,
bring
yes,
them back.
yeah, with the T.
For Diablo 4, and they
Trav,
fit great in
Tyson.
Hell. We had to tweak their power
Borg,
sets
nice.
a little bit to fit the D4 combat system. So we gave them new titles and new looks to really reflect their combat specialties.
Yeah, I will say it's incredibly awesome to see these guys come back. You know, it's giving
I like
very
that.
nostalgic
I like that.
vibes.
I wish that I was presenting this though, because man, they gotta bring some hype to this. Man, this guy's like, we got this new game mode, and this new game mode is going to have some old friends
Yeah, I
come
agree.
back.
Diablo 2 is
from
certainly
Diablo
near and dear to
2.
our hearts here out in New York.
Come on, man, get hype
And,
for us. Let's get some
yeah,
hype in
we're
it.
really
Like,
glad to have
dude, these
them
guys
back,
look
and we hope to
badass. Like,
see,
it's a new game mode. You're
hopefully
gonna be
more
getting some new
returning new
loot. You got
faces in the
guaranteed
future,
greater
too.
effects, life per hit.
So
let's
take
go.
a look at that boss encounter now.
Come on,
So,
man. Let me talk about
I
it.
showed you a number of members of the Fell
He's like,
Council
oh,
here.
Sork's OP
We've
after
actually
he killed the
built 5
council.
of them in total, but you're only going to fight 3 at a time. Now we keep 2 in the hopper basically, and we do that because we want to have a whole bunch of replay associated with this boss fight. And because we're only using 3 of the 5, there's actually 10
Tier
variations
3. I wonder what
of this
tiers it
boss
goes
fight
up
you
to.
can fight randomly.
Oh,
as you
10
do your
variations. That's kind
Infernal
of
run.
cool.
And so we're gonna basically kill them off, and once
know,
you defeat
dude,
one,
hype
the
it
fight
up.
will actually
John
escalate.
Concert.
Actually, it probably escalates even if you just take down a certain amount of health, if I remember correctly. And it escalates.
they did.
Basically, their attacks become
they
more
did.
powerful, and then they start really getting even more powerful.
Well, I'm sure they
kind of
one-shot
room-clearing
Sorks at
attacks towards
tier
the end.
10.
But we've defeated them here, and this is the reward.
And he
moment I actually
defeated him
wanted to
there.
talk through with you, 'cause
Nice
this
job.
is something that really ties into itemization 2.0. You've got several chests here, and you've got a choice of the rewards you get at the end of your Infernal run. You can choose from a chest
We
that
didn't see
contains
anything
all
about
new
the class
legendaries and
stuff.
uniques.
If they're doing any class
You can
stuff.
choose from a chest that contains all sorts of crafting materials, including masterworking materials, so you don't need to go
you
to the
don't
pit
always
anymore
have to do the
exclusively
pits
to get
no
masterworking
more.
materials.
Okay.
You've got a chest that allows you
That's
just to get
good.
a whole bunch of gold. I know people out
Another
there are
option
really
to get
asking
pit
for gold,
materials,
and this
guys.
is going to be a good source of it. And finally, even though it wasn't shown here,
Pit
you have a chest
material.
that guarantees a single item
mode.
with a greater affix on it. And so we thought we'd want to try this out and see how people respond to it. And we thought it would be pretty exciting. You know, certainly in season 4, I'm really trying to get some more greater affixes. So I'd love to have this in season 5.
He'd
So,
love.
Let's
He'd
take
love
a
to
closer look
have
at
it.
some of the uniques you can
season
farm
5.
from the Infernal Horde, since we're talking about rewards already.
I don't know. It's probably like Nightmare
So
Dungeons.
we're
You get
gonna
a
queue
bunch
up
of
some
them.
footage here.
Cue us up, man.
So first up, we've got the Basilisk. And so this is going to be a
What?
new unique staff for
What?
druids. And so when you hit an
What?
enemy with a nerf skill, it'll petrify them
Oh,
and
new
deal
uniques.
physical damage.
Let's
So turning the monsters
come on. We're
to
getting
stone,
some. Now we're
always
getting
cool.
some good.
But it's also cool
Now
that
we're
you
getting
can
some
CC your
good.
target and boost your
New
initial
loot,
attack
baby.
here. So this one's pretty exciting for you Druid players out there. All right, next up, we've got the third blade.
Well, that's.
Now this is a unique sword for
Oh my
barbarians.
gosh, barbarian!
This one makes your weapon mastery skills be treated as
is this
core
insane?
skills that cost
Barbarians?
fury. Even though they deal a little reduced damage, this one's pretty exciting because now you can start making all sorts of new builds that you've never seen before. So we're really interested to see what the community comes up with.
Is this good?
All right.
Yeah, they just put it.
We've got the Mordecrux.
Oh.
Now the Mordecrux is a new unique dagger for Necros. So when you consume a corpse, there's a chance that you'll create a skeletal simulacrum that seeks out enemies. And when it dies,
okay, I'm waiting for the sword.
So
it's going to be a focus, guys.
Essentially,
Guaranteed.
you're making a skelly bomb when you consume corpses. And so that's just going to seek out targets and explode. I think that'd be pretty handy for my Necro this season. So I'm looking forward to that one too.
Or something sweet, I don't care.
Next up, we have the Umbracrux. Now the Umbracrux is a new unique dagger for rogues. So if you use a subterfuge skill,
make us last. Make the sword last. Then it got nothing for sword.
If you hit that totem with an attack, it replicates any of the damage it takes to all nearby enemies. And so it's a great way for essentially replicating and doubling down on the damage that you're dealing in a particular area. All right, next up we've got the Vox Omnium. Now the Vox Omnium is a new unique staff for Sorks. And so when you cast a core skill, it's going to cast an additional 2 basic projectiles based on the previous elements used. And so this allows you to really start comboing your core and basic skills together. And if you decide to have different elements,
not two-handed, y'all.
Core and basic skills,
not two-handed, y'all.
Now you can start casting fire.
Not two-handed, not like this, man.
And cold all at the same time.
Not like this.
So we're pretty excited about this one too. And the final one we're going to share out here is actually a new set of boots that's available for all classes.
Oh, cooldown reduction on boots.
These are called Rakanoth's Wake.
I like the name.
And so whenever you use an ability with a cooldown, you'll trigger an explosion dealing fire damage. And so really, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to bathe your enemies in flames whenever you use a cooldown skill. So maybe I'm going to dust off my whirlwind barb here and slap them on and see how it does. So yeah, these are some of the uniques and legendaries that are going in to the Infernal Hordes.
Yeah,
I think there are 10 uniques overall and over 20 legendaries that you can farm from the Infernal Hordes. So there's going to be a lot to chase down in there.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dan, for sharing, going through
Unless
all
they
that
give
stuff.
us a two-handed
with players jumping in on PTR, especially for
that's not working.
And trying out Infernal Hordes and everything. What's kind of the top things that you really want them to kind of hone in on, give feedback on, check on for PTR?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely need feedback on the PTR. It's super critical to ensuring that the Infernal Hordes and all the Hordes feel great for when the season launches.
That's the PTR feedback.
Here are some of the topics that we could use some help on. First off, just how is the Infernal Hordes gameplay? How do the boons and banes feel? Which ones do you like the most or the least? These are types of things that'll help us fine-tune that experience. Similarly, how is it acquiring compasses? Do you have too much, too few? How do you feel about upgrading them?
You can't use a two-handed staff. It doesn't work with tempering. It just doesn't work. How do they not figure that out?
We're also interested in learning how you feel about the difficulty and the gameplay length of the different tiers.
Dude,
like I said at the top, we've got
really bad, I'm making a barb on PTR.
And so, we have the ability to dial those in a little bit. We want to make sure that players can really replay this over and over again as they push into the end game, much like the pit.
That staff sucks,
and then finally, of course, how are the rewards? Which do you like the most or the least?
Maybe they're changing that.
We can certainly make tweaks on the rewards to make sure they're as enticing as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know with Infernal Hordes, this is another alternative because, as you mentioned, you can jump into it starting with World Tier 3. So if you're actually leveling a new character, you can actually jump into Infernal Hordes, and you're able to earn experience. So in here, so you actually have the opportunity of jumping into Hell Tides if you want to. You can jump into Infernal Hordes. When you get to 85 or something like that, you can jump into pits.
Pit material and this new game mode though. So we have
Nightmare Dungeons, obviously, when you update, you're upgrading your glyphs and everything. So there's a lot of different variety now for being able to kind of level up the character,
it's way better.
Especially as you're going to that mid to late game. phase of your character's
Bard
journey.
for
you could say.
PvP.
Yeah,
Bard?
something else
I'd
to
make
bring
a
up for
bard.
the
I'll sing some
rewards for
songs
the
to you
Infernal
too.
Horde as well that I want to
You were a
clarify.
bard twice.
Dan mentioned about, there's going to be uniques that are there that you can target farm in the Infernal Hordes.
That's
There's actually
awesome.
going to be a group of uniques and legendaries that you're able to target farm in that piece of content in the Infernal Hordes. So you're also
so you could target
kind of similar to how
farm
the
in the
normal game
Infernal
works.
Horde.
You
We
know
need
how
those
you
boots.
can target
Those
farm
boots
a
are
unique
really
from a
good.
boss, but you can find it anywhere else in the world. It's
Those
the same
boots-
way here
I
where
would
you can
make a
get these
meteor build
uniques
with those
and
boots for
legendaries
sure.
anywhere, but you have a better chance, if you're targeting them in the Infernal Hordes. And this is the first time that we're doing this with a group of legendaries as well. We have
Better
legendary powers that are actually able to be target farmed in the Infernal Hordes, which is actually something a little bit new to the game. So I just wanted to clarify that. And in addition to that, we're also adding new uniques and legendaries to the rest of the game as well, in addition to this.
Yep.
So there's actually a very large group of uniques. I think it's over 50 or something.
Yeah, wait, there's
Oh,
over there's over
okay.
50
Yeah.
new uniques and legendaries coming into
So
season
we have a
5.
lot coming.
50
It's
pretty
new
exciting.
uniques and
Uh,
legendaries.
yeah,
Okay, we're not done yet.
This was just kind of
we're
a
not
small
done yet,
preview
baby.
of what people are looking at
50 new
here, and they'll be able
uniques
to jump in more and actually check it out on PTR because all of
legendaries.
them will be present there. And I know
Let's
Adam
go.
is actually going to talk through a few
Yeah.
a few additional
Do it,
ones here
Adam.
later. But
Do it.
Yeah, Dan, this is awesome. Can't wait for players to jump in.
Dan does not look excited for
appreciate
this.
you,
I hope we have more fun than Dan had
informing
during
and
the
providing all the new
presentation.
updates
That's what I
and
really
everything.
hope.
It's exciting.
Yep.
From the
Oh, we got a
sweltering
smile.
heat of Albany.
He's done because he's done with presentation. He's smiling.
School up there. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
I'm like, that's absolutely insane. But we will
that
be seeing
you?
Dan again here later, especially when we get into Q&A at the end. But Dan, thank you again. I think
Oh,
we're
you're welcome. Yeah.
awesome. Appreciate it. And then I think we're going to jump into a little bit of some balance and class updates
Yep,
with
we've got lots
Mr.
to
Adam
share.
Jackson.
Oh,
So,
okay. This
Yeah,
is
let's
it.
get to it.
Let's
We have a lot to
get
talk about.
To it. All right. This is
So the topics I'm going to be covering
Unique
today,
items,
we've
mythic
got unique
uniques.
items.
Those
We're
are
gonna be
Uber
talking quite a
uniques
bit
now.
about
They
that.
changed
We've
the
got
name.
some updates to mythic uniques that are very exciting
Let's
and near
go.
and dear to my heart.
Don't let
and
us
then
down,
we've got
baby.
your standard class updates. A lot of stuff coming in season 5.
A lot of stuff
One thing
coming.
to
I told you
clarify
it's gonna
here
be
is that we
big,
are
y'all.
going
I
to
told
be
you it's gonna be
releasing the patch
good.
notes soon, so I'm not going to be
Come
going
on,
over
man.
every single class update because there's a ton of them. Kind
Let's
of similar
go.
to season 4. I'm really only going to highlight just like one major thing for each class on the stream today, but you'll be able to see all
Well,
the things
Ubers
that we're
are now
doing
called
in the
mythic
patch notes.
uniques,
There's
is
a
what
lot.
they said. That's kind of better name, anyways.
So first, uniques. We have some quality of life updates here, really targeting how you get uniques that I'm pretty pumped about to announce here today. So you can now target farm uniques from 3 additional sources. You can
okay.
target them from obol vendors, helltide chests, and whisper caches. These places where you've always been able to, kind of target
That's
farm
good.
certain gear
That's
slots and not been able to get
your
uniques. And
deer
you're wondering,
have to
well, why couldn't we do that? That stinks. Well, now you can, and it's awesome, and I love it.
I'm glad you love it. That's
So
good.
here, just to give some more detail into how this works, is basically when you open, like, I'm just gonna use helltide chest as an example, right? If you want a specific unique weapon, let's say,
That's good
you can
because it'll
just
be
simply target
925.
the weapon
That's good.
helltide chests, and
That's
you'll
good.
be able to have a chance to get only unique weapons for your class from
they
those
buff
chests.
uniques, it's good,
So
I
when
mean.
you're targeting a specific thing, you just go to the place that has that slot, whether it's the obol vendor, the helltide chest, or the whisper cache, and you'll have a chance to get uniques that are targeted for that slot. So it kind of adds, while you're doing your normal grind of,
Dude,
doing the
maybe
boss
they
ladder,
making Pennant
killing the
Greaves
boss,
good, bro.
You can also be collecting obols, doing the helltides, doing the
That's a
whispers,
W
and
change.
having
That's
a
one
chance
W.
to target and
Let's
get
count
that unique
W's.
as well
We
from
already
that
have
content.
a W for new game mode.
And in
we have
addition
an L
to
for the
that,
Sork
this is
staff
also true
and a
for
W
mythic
for this.
uniques. So I'll just give an example here of exactly how this works. Let's say that you want to get, Harlequin Crest, a Shaco, or Andariel's Visage. You don't want to target those helms. You could be targeting helms from Helltide, targeting helms, and when you turn in your obols to the obol vendor. And every time, if you get a mythic unique, you will get one of those 2 from that source. Now, also to clarify, let's say that you are targeting gloves for some reason. We don't have any mythic unique gloves yet. Then if you were to get a mythic
to
unique,
Cali
you
to
still
work.
can. It'll just give you a random one instead, since you can't target one in that slot. So pretty exciting way to to target kind of the things that you want while you're farming.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
so
I'm
I know we've heard a lot of
It's
players
good
going
because
like, hey,
realistically,
we
need the mythic
end game
uniques, but
bosses
we
a
only
whole
need
lot,
them with
where
the
we kind of-
GA at the end game.
And you can actually find them just in the open world as well. We've actually seen a lot of cases, especially with this past season, where players are jumping into Helltide and they're actually finding them there. But now it's an additional options for players, which I think will be a lot better for just overall finding.
I love when he does his hair like
As
that.
someone who, for the last 3
like-
seasons, my uniques have always come from the Beast and Ice, I am very selfishly invested in getting this into the game.
Yes. So.
All right, let's talk about other unique updates here. We're going to be making a whole lot of updates to our unique items, so I'm going to be covering a lot today. We've heard your feedback, and we're going to be doing some updates
Agrees,
here.
baby.
To clarify, before I go into what the updates are, you are going to be seeing these updates to like the way that we think about and our philosophy around uniques and how they work. You're going to be seeing them in the PTR for the new uniques coming into Season 5. Between the PTR and the launch, you'll be seeing in the Season 5 launch these updates to all the existing uniques in the game. So when Season 5 comes out, basically all the uniques will get these updates that I'm about to talk about. But in the PTR, you're only going to really see this in the new uniques coming into the game.
Oh.
Yeah, there. So now we can go on to the next part.
So
all right, so the team's
so
been
it's not
talking
gonna
a
be on
lot.
the
As many of you probably know,
test
in
realm.
Season 4, when we did Optimization 2.0, we didn't really update the uniques almost at all in the game, right? We didn't do like a big pass to like cover how they exist in tempering or anything like that. So the team's been talking a lot about, what is the role of uniques in Diablo 4? Like, how are they different from legendary items? Because they're kind of similar in that they both give you, a legendary power that's really strong. But how are they different, and what do we want them to be long term? And we've kind of landed on a few things here that I'm going to talk about. The first one is that, they're powerful and exciting items that kind of direct players to builds, right? So imagine you're a Fireball Sork, we've got 2 uniques for you. They really target you. You're going to feel a lot better playing with Fireball when you take them. We want you to take these things and kind of level up your build. They're moments of like very large incremental power where you feel like you're, filling in your fantasy as a class. The next one is that they're kind of pick up and play, right? They're easy to evaluate. The moment that you pick up the unique, you know whether it's a good one or a bad one. We want this to be a little bit different from legendary powers where, you pick it up and you kind of go on a journey where, you make it into something that's really good. A unique, when you pick it up whether or not it's one that you want to keep or one that you don't. And then the last one, pretty obvious, but was worth saying, they're kind of more rare chase items that players don't see very often. When you're going through the end game, you're seeing legendary powers a lot because, we have a lot of reasons to give you a lot of
Pennant Greaves
codex. They are the way that you can get greater apses and temper and masterwork them. So there's a reason why you want to churn and look through a lot of them. Uniques, you do want to get a good one, obviously, but not nearly as often as like a legendary power. We don't need that aspect of their design. So they are more rare, they're harder to get, but when you get it, it's kind of like a more exciting moment. Like, did I get the perfect one? And then if not, you go and try to get the next one. So let's talk a little about our goals for the update that we're going to be doing here. One of the things that we come to a lot that we talk about with the team is this idea. I like this quote of like players build their legendaries and players build around their uniques.
Okay,
right?
so that means
your legendary power
uniques are not getting
your
tempering.
legendary items are very malleable. The moment you get it, you don't know yet if it's going to be the best in slot item, but it has a chance to be. But they're also like able to fit in a lot of different ways. You can manipulate their stats via enchanting, via tempering, and masterworking. And so there's a lot that you can do with the item once you've gotten it. Whereas uniques, they're a lot more static, right? The stats on them can't change. You can't really manipulate them very much, and sometimes they have maybe qualities to them or stats that are a little bit inconvenient. And you got to figure out like how do I overcome this little detriment or make my build into where it's a plus instead of a detriment, right?
Very valuable
it's a fixed thing that you have to build around.
That's the nice thing about uniques. And we're all uniques.
Also, ideally, we want players to run 2 to 4 uniques in their build. One of the difficult parts of this, and I think we're going to be continuing to work on with the balance and design of uniques, is that we want you to run some, but we don't want you to run all of them in your build, right? It's very easy to go one way or the other. I can very easily make you run no uniques, and I can very easily make you run like every slot is a unique by making them really, really crazy, right? We want these to fit in such a way that you're running some of them, the ones that are applicable to your build, or maybe some spicy ones here or there that you try and, like make in a special way to work with you. But not all of them. I would say right now, like on live in Season 4, players are running more like 0 to 2 in their build, so it's not as much as we want, which means that we want to update them to make them a little bit more attractive.
No, more than that.
And another one is we kind of want to move away from these generic fits-all build styles.
4 or 5,
right? One thing that I know a lot
5.
of players have talked about in the past that we've had is that some of our uniques are just so generically good, and this is particularly scary for us when it's like what we call a generic unique, which is one where every class can use it. And so like if every class can use it and every build can use it and it's better than like the build specific or class specific stuff, then it just becomes best in slot for everybody, and we've taken away your agency and your choice because you're just going to target this item and ignore everything else, right? The only items in the game that we really want to fit that role are like mythic uniques, where they're across all classes and they're so good, but they're also extremely rare, so you're very excited to see them whenever you see one. But all the other regular uniques, we don't want to fit that design space. So we're going to be trying to move away from these ones and readjust them and redesign them a little bit where they fit into all kinds of builds and kind of target something that they're really good at or that's a little bit more unique about them and make them really good at that and less generically good at everything.
It's funny because everyone's in the chat going like, oh, rip Shaco, but we just literally, we just said.
Mythics is not what they're a different beast here. I'm talking about all your regular ones.
Yeah.
Shaco's still going to be just as good, if not better, honestly. All right, so enough preamble, right? What are we actually doing?
That's a lot.
We're going to be doing two big updates.
I'm a little winded.
The first one is we're going to be increasing the upper power of the unique effects and the roll range. We're going to be doing increasing the range from an average of 10 to 20 rolls, which I'll explain in a second. And then we're also going to be increasing the upper power of like how much you can get from the rolls. This is really just buffing pretty much most uniques across the board to compete with the new world of legendary powers that we live in, since they got extra power juice to them. Now uniques are catching up.
Okay.
So as an example here, I gave, if an older unique like one on live gave you around 40 to 80% multiplicative damage, that's going to go up to like 40, 100, maybe 120, maybe even higher. Really, the mandate is as high as we can get away with without breaking things. And then we're also going to be increasing the roll range. This is like the number of possible rolls it can do from an average of 10 to 20. So it'll be a little bit harder to get basically. What we're targeting here is the discrepancy of inside of a unique is a little bit wider.
I like that better. You got farm,
the difference
you got
of like a
farm for
low
what you
roll and a
want.
high
You got
roll
to
is a
farm
little
for
bit
what you want.
bigger,
That's
but
the
the high
thing.
rolls
Like,
are
you
way
should
better
get excited
than
about the gear.
So they're more
not getting the
exciting when you get
materials.
them really
like,
good.
oh my gosh, I
but it's
got
a little bit harder
1,000
to get
theory
there.
and I farmed for 5 hours. No, I
And the
farmed
next
5
one is
hours,
going to
got
be
the
updating
best
the
item in the
affixes,
game.
the actual stats on the uniques. We're doing a pass on all of them, and this is kind of what we're doing. The first thing is we're changing their stats to fit with the Season 4 updates, right? We're doing the things like we did before of simplifying stats, getting rid of super conditional things, making them just more generically understood and good. We're also going to be adding tempering stats. We're open to really adding whatever we want that makes the unique fit the fantasy. So as an example here, a lot of two-hand weapon uniques have a problem where they're all basically competing against bonus projectiles as an affix because you can just temper that onto your weapons, right? So when it comes to those kind of situations, we'll just slap the bonus projectiles on that unique, and now it's no longer competing in that way. Where we have to kind of dance around it. We can just put it. We're also open to the idea, by the way, of breaking slot restrictions, kind of like we did in Season 2. So you can have bonus projectiles or other things on other slots. Like uniques are where we get to play a little bit and just really make something thematic and cool and build defining, and so they have less restrictions than everything else. And the other one is we're updating the stat power levels and the effects. So the idea here that we're thinking, and this is particularly nuancey when it comes to generic uniques, but stats that kind of fit the theme or the fantasy of the unique are going to be like way stronger than your normal stats, right? So as an example, if you have a unique that's targeting fire damage, maybe it's like a meteor or firewall and the sorcerer or whatever it may be.
Don't increase the stat fire damage if you don't take the cap off it.
To be really, really high. But stats that are more like generically good, like, attack speed, max life, resist all, those ones aren't going to be juiced unless it fits the theme of the unique really well. Right? So we have an example here of one that has been a problem for us in the past. I kind of want to go through how we would think about it. I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to do here to Tibalt's Will, but kind of give you our thought process,
Why not?
Right?
Tell us, dude.
So Tibalt's Will, as many of you know, in previous seasons, was kind of a problem where it just became best in slot for almost every build. The famous line we say is that it was damage on pants, which was impossible to get almost anywhere else in the game. And it turned out damage on pants was really, really good, right? It also gave you damage reduction, one of the best stats in the game. And then it also gave you it also solved resource in many ways for you as well, right? It gave you a bunch of resource whenever you became unstoppable, which wasn't too hard to do.
We know what Tibalt's Will does.
So it was doing a lot of things at once. It gave you a very unique effect with putting damage on a slot that you don't get it. It also gave you resource, which is something that every class wants, very heavily.
And Adam, it gave you 3 extra potions.
And 3 extra potions, yes. Now that one, that's all right. But yeah, so, the way that we would tackle this one, to give you an idea, is like, you know, we either would kind of pick, you know, do we want to focus this on the damage aspect, that it's damage on a non-damage slot, or maybe we focus on the resource aspect and like double down on that and make that really powerful and really cool. Or we do like a little bit of both, but if we do both, then it's not going to give you the defenses that another pants slot would give, right? Basically, in our mind, we'd be like, we want to give the minimum amount of defense. Making it only 3
stats on every unique. I'm so confused.
But then after that, not so much. And you're gonna have to solve your defenses in other slots or somewhere else to justify getting the damage on this slot. Is how we would think about it, right? And so we're having a lot of conversations now. I don't think we're gonna nail every single item perfectly in this first
35 minutes, and we haven't learned much.
So we're really looking for feedback when you jump into season 5 and beyond, and we'll be adjusting them. But I kind of want to give you an idea of what we're doing and kind of what we're thinking.
Like a new game mode.
Yeah, I think we can move on. So Mythic Uniques are getting a facelift here.
Oh,
so
lots
of updates here. Mythic
now.
Uniques are now going to be truly mythic. They're getting a new color beam when they drop on the ground. They're coming out with an awesome new sound that you're going to hear in a little bit. We've got new item UI that you can see, so they have a different color. They really are going to look and feel like the special items that they are. And we have a video here to show you the sound and what it looks like on the ground. So you can see here, this beam looks very different than anything else. Isn't that sound, that echoey sound? I love it.
Sounds like a...
Look at those 4 weapons. I love that.
I don't know. It sounds like you're murdering a bunch of like church organs or something like that.
That's what I love. 4 weapons.
But yeah, so when this thing drops, you're definitely going to know when you got 3. One. No more like sifting through your uniques to see if it's actually one of the mythics. You'll know right away. So we're really excited about this.
There's a new game mode coming out, and there's
all right, and last but not least, let's talk about class updates. I'm going to cover some generic things across all classes and then go through a little bit of each one. Again, this is not going to be nearly close to everything that we're doing, just a little taste, a teaser for what you can expect to see. Let's start with things across all classes. One systemic update we're doing to the game is invulnerability skills are now going to start their cooldown when the invulnerability ends instead of when the skill begins. This is really to prevent things like infinite invulnerability and really to open up design space for us on the team, because now we can be more comfortable adding things like, invulnerable duration to skills or cooldown reduction more liberally and things like that, where we don't have to worry about this. This is very similar to what our previous games have done and some other games do, and we think it'll be a good fit here. The idea isn't really to make it that you can't be invulnerable very often. It's just to prevent 100% uptime, where you actually break down the combat of the game and you're not interacting with enemies anymore. The next one is we reviewed Monster CC, and we generally reduced the CC duration and frequency across the board. So, if you were frustrated by getting frozen for 1 million years and then dying, that'll happen much less often. And also to help with this, potions can be used while CC'd, even while you're stunned. So, while you're frozen standing there and everybody's around you trying to kill you, you can at least spam potion a little bit.
It doesn't matter. You get one shot, bro.
Next one, we've got some bug fixes. These are some of the notable ones. We do have more coming in, but these are the ones I wanted to call out. Rogue Victimize is no longer going to be double dipping on its damage, which is resulting in a lot more multiplicative, or a lot more damage really than it was supposed to have.
Dude, they made the class updates sound like it was going to be something good.
Double the amount of percent damage that they were supposed to. And Skeleton Reapers were getting both Book of the Dead bonuses when the second option was selected. And again, this is just a little bit of a preview, but we have
that
other
feedback was not from Kafka. That feedback did not come from me.
All right, now let's get to the classes. So Barbarian, they have a new unique coming in. This is the Unbroken Chain. This is for you support Barbarians, or really just more defensively oriented ones. Basically, what this is going to do is create a connection between Steel Grasp and Iron Maelstrom, where you'll be able to cast Iron Maelstrom a lot more often as you use Steel Grasp.
We don't know what this means.
And also, enemies damaged by Iron Maelstrom are going to be doing less damage for a little while. So the idea here is, you could debuff enemies, debuff those bosses, and make them do less damage to you, so you can survive better.
This is good.
And next, the Rogue. Flurry is going to be getting a lot of big updates. We updated the enhancement and both of their upgrades. So you'll be able to see kind of a theme here going on. Before, you would damage a crowd control or vulnerable enemy for the enhancement, then you would heal. Now, when Flurry hits an enemy, you can just make them vulnerable. So actually, Flurry becomes a vulnerable generator here, which is pretty exciting. And it'll also deal more damage as you hit vulnerable enemies. Stacks up really high. So the idea here is with Flurry builds, you want to make everything vulnerable, and then just keep whacking them with Flurry and gain a bunch of damage. And now Improved Flurry is changing. Before it was about vulnerable spreading, but now baseline you can just generate vulnerable, so we don't need that anymore. So now Improved Flurry is going to actually give you a dash. So now, similar to things like the Shred on the Druid, You can kind of dash to your
dash to the
target, and also
target?
every time you cast
That's
Flurry
kinda
now,
cool.
it's going to heal you. So it's going to be a lot more mobile, a lot more awesome. Very cool. And then last but not least, to compete with a dash, what could we do with
Baby
Advanced
buffs.
Flurry? Well, we can just add
What's
a
it gonna
stupid amount of
do? It's
damage
gonna
and
be
resource
like-
cost reduction.
I
So
don't know,
before,
man.
you had to evade through an enemy and
there's
then do
nothing, man.
damage with one cast and
There's
stun
nothing.
enemies. Now,
Nothing.
as you spam Flurry, it'll basically get a big damage bonus, and its energy
They don't have
cost will
enough
go
time.
down, which will let you
Like,
be
there's
able
not
to
enough
spam
time
it
to
even more often. So the
buff
idea
the
here is you
sword.
just want to be using it over and over and over again, and it'll get stronger and stronger and ramp up pretty heavily as you go.
I'm excited for Flurry Rogues.
Yeah,
very
Flurry-
excited. Yeah,
Flurry
they're gonna
Rogues
be
are
like
getting a
little
lot of love.
hummingbirds around, bouncing around, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, ironically, I'm playing Flurry this season, so I'm always off by one. Like, I always play the Thane, and then like, oh, we're gonna massively make it better next time. But it's fine. It's fine.
Moving-
Everything's fine. Next, Druid, Shepherd's aspect. We've gotten feedback from players now for a while now about how Shepherd's aspect kind of dominates the meta for Druids because you're basically both. It's both not great from a design and a balance perspective. On the design side, we're telling you to put companions on your bar, and then they're actually just buffing you. So, we make this companion build fantasy, but it's actually just making the player better. And then on the power side, you're basically just slotting 3 skills on your bar with your companions, and then not really caring about buffing them or using them because they're just kind of there as proxies to make you
I don't
better.
understand this. This
So
is
we've
weird to me
changed
what
it
they're doing
now
here.
where,
Are they just like
basically it's going to be
changing
about the
a
companions.
few
So
things for each
your
class?
companion
I
skills
don't understand.
are
Or are
just
they
gonna
changing
deal
a
damage
lot? But
for
this
every
is what
companion that
they
you have. So,
are
the
showing
bigger
off.
your zoo, the
Maybe
better
this
your zoo is gonna
update
perform.
afterwards they'll tell
And
us.
to
I don't
compensate
know.
players, we're doing some pretty massive buffs to Druid skills baseline to compensate. So, your skills are just going to be getting
I'd like
that
to know
damage
what's
baseline
actually
and in many
happening
cases
here.
a little bit more. So you can check that out when you see the PTR notes, the PTR patch notes after this. But we basically just buffed everything across the board and made it so that Shepherd isn't required anymore.
So
Next for the Sorceress, this is Axial Conduit. I'm really excited about this unique. This is your Chain Lightning unique. So Chain Lightning builds, you finally have a unique that really talks to you. And you can see here kind of our
Okay.
stats and that new philosophy I told you about. You have chance to double cast Chain Lightning on pants instead of just a weapon, so that's pretty cool. So basically the way that this works, we're going to have a video, but I'm going to explain to you how this works because it actually changes your skill pretty significantly. So now when you cast Chain Lightning, the way it's going to work is it's going to cast and
This
bounce
is
on
kinda
enemies
cool.
just like before, but then it's going to come back to you and orbit you a little bit. And then it's going to go out and hit another enemy, and then come back to you in orbit, and then come out and then go out and do another enemy and come back. It's going to do that back and forth a few times. And every time it comes back to you, it's going to drain some of your mana. And after it drains so much mana, after coming back 10 times, the bolt is actually going to explode for a ridiculous amount of lightning damage on enemies. So there's a mini game here where basically, and by the way, you can cast multiple Chain Lightnings when this is out. You're basically going to be like running a gambit here, and the mini game is you want to stack as much resource regeneration as you can so that your lightning bolts can survive being drained over and over and bouncing everywhere so they can last to their explosion and do a ton of damage to enemies. One thing I want to call out here also is that because it drains mana, resource cost reduction won't work on that drain. You're actually going to want to focus on gaining resource, which is a little bit different. It kind of makes this build a little special, I think, and unique compared to other resource builds based around resource. So now let's see it in action here. You'll see what
That's
one
kinda
cast
cool,
looks
though.
like, and then I think we'll see what it looks like when you spam it. So you can see here, it circles you, goes and hits enemies, circles you, goes and hits enemies, and then it does a big explosion at the end that we've tuned the damage to be pretty high.
it needs to be high.
See there? So then it explodes. So, do we have one where it casts a bunch of times? Maybe we don't. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So see here, you can see that, as you go, keep going, and then explode a bunch of times. Another thing I want to point out is if you're hugging enemies in melee range, as it's circling you, it will also hit enemies. So you now have a way to really maximize your damage by hugging bosses and such. The damage goes way up.
Might be good.
So next, last but not least, the Necromancer.
It's something. It's
so we got
damage
some
pants.
feedback. We've had this for a while and put this on the team where
I'll take it.
The Golem we really love. We love our Golem boys. And but sometimes it can be frustrating when you tell the Golem to go somewhere, and then it kind of takes a while to lug his butt over there and do his slam or his shout or whatever, and things can get in the way. And so we've kind of upgraded him a little bit. I'll let the video speak for himself here. But so now you can see your Golem will Hulk smash and just jump on enemies and slam them down. So this will work with all of your Golem types, by the way, not just the Iron Golem, but now your Golem is going to leap to the area that you tell him to go. and then Castic's ability.
Not bad.
So we're really excited about this. Shout out to Charles Dunn who got this change in, and our animators who helped us out. But we're really pumped for it. It looks amazing.
Wait, what happens with the golem? I missed that.
Yeah, so those were the class and balance changes. And I know we jumped a slide there. How dare you, so production? Good. No, but we are, as they wave to me like, oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
We do want to go into some quality of life updates. We do have a significant amount of quality of life updates we do want to go through that will be available in Season 5. And you guys will actually be able to check this out in the PTR.
We need to see all these
now
notes.
we can go to the next slide, where we do want to talk about some Helltide and Whisper updates.
This is not everything, Minnie. They just they go
I know
over like
this has been kind of at least it's been a pain point for me, and I've heard
afterwards.
It's been a pain point for others.
You talk about
that as you guys are going through Helltide, there are Whisper objectives within there to help you with your progression on your Whisper bar. But the issue with the ones in Helltide is that it can sometimes take quite a while to do. And you sometimes players would have to leave the Helltide to go to another area to complete some of these Whisper objectives. So we are optimizing this to ensure that they don't take nearly as much time.
We'll see.
The ideal goal is to get a bunch of value within those 15 minutes to potentially end up getting a full entire Whisper 10-point bar within 15 minutes in one Helltide
do a full Whisper every Helltide.
Yeah, so that'll be it'll be a huge help because I know. At least for me, I've always had to like kind of leave a Helltide and like kind of try to knock some of that out. It'll especially help for players that are looking for additional gold because Whisper caches have always been great sources of gold. And now, as Adam mentioned, you can also use Whisper caches to target farm.
So, baby.
So it's keeping things more optimized for players, which we know will be way better there. The next thing we do want to talk about is also Baneful Hearts. I know this may not sound like a huge quality of life thing or a buff of any sort, but we have noticed that players have had a lot of Baneful Hearts within their inventory. We do want to make these a little bit more valuable so they won't drop as frequently. We know that players will still have a significant amount, but maybe not hundreds and hundreds like some people have within their inventory.
Yeah,
but players should not have any type of issues.
I was looking for that. I was
having
hoping
a ton of these Baneful Hearts, but
make it
we are tweaking the drop rate because they were dropping a little
back to town.
Tempering. The very I guess like brought up topic. Well, and like
people like talking about tempering.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah, so I want to take a minute to talk about tempering and kind of how the design team sees it and kind of what we're happy with, what we think could be better, and some adjustments we'll be making in Season 5. So first, high level, kind of how we see tempering. We really think that it's important that items have an endpoint where players know kind of that the item is done and that they're not hoarding lots of them forever on the chance that they can all be good, right? One of the big key goals of Season 4 was that we didn't want you saving 1 million items in your stash space. And while we know that bricking an item never feels great, we do need that to be something that's possible to do in the game so that you know when the journey is done and you're not just holding on to an item forever. So that part we actually think is working very well, where an item is done and you try and go get another one. And so you're always interested in items and trying to, have that game loop go in the game indefinitely, or until you feel like your character is maxed out on its power. But we do agree with players that the RNG right now is like completely out of their hands, which doesn't really feel great. You get so many tries basically to roll, and then that's kind of it, and you're done, and it doesn't feel great. So we're looking at ways in the future for players to have more control over that RNG, so that you have more ways to maybe manipulate the tempering or get the odds in your favor, and do other things like that. One update that's going to be coming in Season 5, it won't be in the PTR, but we're targeting for launch, is that we've got a lot of feedback that it feels so bad when you get that like triple greater affix and it has the same number of rolls, and then you brick it and then you have to try and go get another one. So in Season 5, to help with this, as your item gets better, basically, that you find, you're going to have more chances
to come to life on this
a much better chance to get
Campfire chat. Just one thing.
Basically,
I feel better about it.
Basically, get one extra roll per greater affix that you have. So you have 1 greater affix, 1 roll, 3 rolls.
And again, just to clarify, this is not in the PTR, but it will be in for the launch of Season 5 in itself.
Oh, they don't even know what to do yet.
Again, just to reiterate, we are still looking at ways to
What's
help
in the
out that
PTR?
experience with
I don't
tampering,
understand.
as we've noted. We agree
They've
with
said
players
this
that
isn't
it
in the
doesn't always
PTR
feel
for like
great.
everything.
And so you guys should expect to hear more updates to tempering after we get through Season 5 for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next
After
up,
Season
weapons.
5? Wait.
Yeah,
or-
so I'll talk about this one a little bit. We took a look
Look
at
at this chart.
Yeah, this chart. We took a look at inherent affixes on weapons, and we found that, a lot of inherent affixes like damage to distant or some other ones were a little too conditional and didn't get the update, in Season 4 that we wanted. So we went back and made them a little bit more generically useful.
Wait, they said you get one more chance?
Better across more builds.
That's what they said?
So we have a little chart here, but you can see kind of this is going to be the new inherent affixes on all the different weapon types. So we've made quite a few adjustments here. As an example, vulnerable damage is on bows, and dot damage is on axes, which I believe vulnerable on bows is new. But yeah, so we made quite a few updates. We basically just looked at the matrices of everything and
took
kind of
cooldown
adjusted it
off
to
of
see what makes
focus,
sense.
man.
So basically, you're just going to have things that actually impact your builds much more often on the weapons that you want.
No.
And as another result of this update, we are also looking at what weapons classes can use, and we updated them a little bit to try and let more classes use more weapons. We want players to be able to create interesting builds, play the way that we want, and so we want to open up these things as much as we can in our designs. So now druids are going to be able to use two-hand polearms, one-hand swords, and daggers. Sorceresses are going to be able to use one-hand swords and maces. And necromancers are going to be able to use, I think it's maces and axes, actually.
Yeah, despite this necromancer pictured right here that is not using, it's using a two-handed sword, but you can already use a two-handed sword, but not using and the necromancer here, I know it's supposed to say all maces.
Wait, so Doombringer could drop for Sork now?
All swords, so.
Is that what that means?
But yeah, basically we're going to be opening up these classes to use more weapon types. And then also some of the uniques are going to be updated for the classes as well. So the Butcher's Cleaver can now be used for Necros, and Sorcerers can use Doombringer and Azure Wrath now.
Yeah, Sorcerers can use Azure Wrath, kind of like D2.
Yep, fits their theme very well too. So
I don't even know what Azure Wrath does.
Some additional quality of life
update?
updates. Now we're going to talk about some endgame bosses. As I have experienced, as Adam has experienced earlier, as he mentioned in the stream, we are making changes to the Beast in Ice. You guys will no longer have to make a sigil to summon the Beast in Ice, which is a huge quality of life update. The Beast will now live in a standard dungeon. The crawl to get to the Beast in Ice is much, much shorter now. It's going to be more similar to what we've seen with some of the other endgame bosses.
Going to be the best weapon for Sork.
And then at the same time, Eternal players that have maybe already built out some of these sigils, we made sure to keep you in mind so you can still use the sigils to fight the boss. You won't just you won't need summoning materials. You can just use the sigil right there in the boss room in itself. And this no longer requires sigil dust to actually summon the Beast in Ice. So some big changes to the Beast in Ice to help out that whole entire feel.
Somebody was saying that last night.
Really
I don't
target
remember what it
farming
was,
the
but
Beast
somebody
in
was
Ice.
saying that it's
Sometimes it was kind
Beast in Ice.
of brutal to have to go through the whole entire dungeon each and every time.
So many times.
He was saying, Sork should be able to use
next
swords.
we have Varshan. Varshan, the body parts are pretty much being reduced to one. I know it was eating up a lot of inventory space. It was kind of hard to manage at times and everything. So we're optimizing this, making this better. So now you'll just need one body part to essentially
this should be something we read in the patch notes. Like this isn't. This is nice, but it's not like, wow.
And
one body part.
One big thing that we're going to call out here before, and this is kind of like the cherry on top. Let's actually just play the clip and see if people actually notice it, and if not, then we'll call it out.
What could be different this time?
Poor Duriel.
Yeah, Mythic Unique maybe?
Oh.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
There's more gold.
Good gear though.
There's more gold.
But something that is interesting here is the cauldron has reappeared.
You can just resummon him again.
There's the altar right there. You can now resummon all the endgame bosses without needing to run out of the dungeon.
Reset the
dungeon. So this will help a whole lot. Will make things way better in terms of like optimizing when you're for time and everything.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a party and you're like, everyone leave the dungeon so I can reset and stuff like that.
Biggest,
now you'll be able to do that immediately for all the end-game bosses, which is a huge feature. I know that players have been asking
That's
for.
why I haven't done any level 100 bosses.
That will be also incorporated into Season 5. So lots and lots of changes for Season 5. One other thing I did want to call out regarding tempering, because
the best change.
Just to clarify, because we've got some people going like, oh, I don't understand like the greater affix stuff, like in terms of additional rolls. If you have a 1-star greater affix, you'll get 1 additional roll. If you have like a 3-star or 4-star or something, you would get 3 or 4. Pending the amount of stars that you actually specifically have on your item.
Yeah, I think those are
3. Sorry, yeah. 4 is more specific. 4 is uniques. Yeah. If I'm thinking about razor plate or something like that. But the other thing that I did want to call out is that this is actually going to be retroactive. So for players that still have maybe an item that they may have potentially bricked and it's sitting in their stash, just for like memento purposes or anything like that.
Or whatever,
when your character does move to Eternal, if it was a greater affix, like a 3-star greater affix or something like that, you will end up getting those 3 additional rolls afterwards. So that will appear after these changes
that is confirmed.
Implemented.
Each GA gets an extra
It'll just be
roll.
on your Eternal character, obviously, because your seasonal character will move to Eternal. As I fix my earpiece, that's like falling out.
Oh no!
But one other thing I did want to call out as well for Season 5, we have some really big like
I just don't understand what we're testing on the PTR.
Are being added to the actual
everything
game.
I heard was
and
like
we really need some testing on this in the Season 5
just
PTR.
the new
This is actually
game
called
mode,
out
I
in our
guess.
blog. We would really love if players can actually check them out, test them out, provide feedback. I will note we aren't planning, despite it being in the Season 5 PTR, we aren't planning on these features actually launching with Season 5. We really want to take the feedback, make them, better for when they are ready. And right now, I think that the plan would be that they would be ready for Season 6. But it's important for us to be able to get that feedback. So we really need people to actually test out these specific features. We have like an auto pin feature, we have a compass feature, and then we have like a audio navigation assistance feature that is coming within some of these accessibility features for Season 5. So really important for people to kind of like jump in, check it out, give us feedback, and then you'll see those in Season 6 after the PTR is kind of over. But that is kind of like a huge wrap up of all the stuff that is coming for the Season 5 PTR, and even a little bit more of
I feel like nothing's coming to the PTR besides this new game mode.
We do want to take some questions, and we still have Dan on the line from the burning hells of Albany to answer any questions that we may have. But I know we have a question specifically teed up. So if you have questions, please ask them in Twitch chat, which is where we have live chat going on right now, and we will try to get through as many as possible.
So confused.
But first question I believe we have is, because I teed up this question, are there any new class buffs coming to Season 5? Specifically, if Adam can answer, Druid and Sorceress, because I know we hear you, everyone, about Druid and Sorceress. I know we talked a little bit about it here, but if you can like expand on it.
Okay, there are some buffs coming.
Yes, there are new class buffs coming to Season 5. Covered it a little bit. I think one they call out that people talk a lot about right now is how barbarians in particular are pretty strong, and then the classes that can't get as far as they can in the pit feels kind of bad. There's a lot to chew on there, but I think the short answer is yes, we hear you, and we're going to be looking to beef these things up. We do have some specific ways that we want to be targeting these things, and there's a lot of history to it. Barbarians in particular are tougher to balance. I think I've talked about this on stream a little bit before of, because of their arsenal system, they have more items. Anytime that we mess with, and we've messed with like the underlying systems of the game very heavily in the last year, right? Season 2, we updated all the combat math, which of course impacts items, which
I don't understand what the PTR is, guys.
We've updated in Season 4
the
all of
PTR is playing
itemization,
a new
which
game
obviously
mode.
directly impacts the arsenal system very heavily. So when we do these large shakeups, it's a lot more difficult in a short amount of time to get everything exactly perfect of how the combinatorics of those effects are going to impact classes, right? So that's one end of it. Another end is what we're trying to do. And
Right.
we started with
They
this in
just
season
said
4.
Barb has too many weapons; they'll never be balanced. He just said it.
And
Like,
we want
give
to
us
kind
a
of beef
weapon.
them up and give them the treatment
Gosh,
that we kind of
give us
gave
a
with the
weapon
Necromancer
slot.
in the Book of the Dead. You know, in season 4, we actually wanted to try this as an experiment. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's
you know,
just
the Book of the
testing
Dead,
the-
the minions, the sacrifice bonuses, they're what really make Necromancer feel really cool and special and unique. So we're gonna, you know, try and catch that up, so to speak, to the arsenal system on the Barbarian.
Big buffs,
and
purple
not only
buffs.
just increase the numbers, right? Because just increasing the numbers is kind of easy. We
Interesting.
even did that in the
This is
mid-season patch.
interesting,
If you look
guys.
at the Druid boons, you know, we increased them by 50%, doubled them in many cases. But we think to really help solve that on a fantasy and even just design perspective, we want to like overhaul and really look at these mechanics and make them way better and more thematic to classes. So we don't have anything to announce today for season 5, but that's something more long-term that we're doing to help that problem in the future. In the short term, we are, you know, looking at, you know, fixing the issues with these various classes, buffing them up in different ways, you know, making different builds and other things viable and trying to keep that parity. We're also looking at, you know, bringing down the outliers of power with the Barbarian in different ways to make sure that they have more parity with other classes as well. But that's kind of our short and long-term vision.
Like,
of where
yeah,
we
just
want
give
this
us a 2-minute slot, bro.
I know we have a question specifically, and this is something I've seen a few times regarding season 5 for
Sark Buff's
Dan,
coming
because
season 10.
Infernal Hordes,
Down
people
the
are seeing
road.
this gameplay
Down
and
the
they're hearing about
road.
like, okay, like I can play. Can I
Way
play
down
this
there.
on Eternal
get
and
'em.
seasonal? Can I play this? Is this like an ongoing thing going forward? Like what
down there.
can players expect, Dan?
Sure,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So
Our homie's
with
back.
season 5, we wanted to build out the end game. And because we're building out the end game, we wanted to make sure that any of the end game things we're putting in are on both seasonal and eternal. And so in this PTR, you'll be able to test out the eternal version of Infernal Hordes. And so any of the rewards you get from it, all that's eternal. So all players are going to benefit from it.
D4 should be called Barbarian.
Awesome. Yeah, so all players will benefit from it, and as Dan mentioned, it's a new end game feature. So it's like something that will be, you know, continuous beyond, you know, even season 5 is what we're looking at. So yeah, players
Rob
can
is my
expect to jump
boy.
in Infernal Hordes going forward, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, the feedback is going to be incredibly important during this PTR. As Dan mentioned beforehand, all the specific items that we're really hoping to get, you know, feedback on regarding you know,
Feedback.
how the boons feel, how the rewards feel, how
Yeah.
the combat feels, and the waves and stuff like that will be really important for us during this specific moment. What is the? This is another season 5 question, and hopefully you might be able to answer this, Dan. What is this from Lucky Luciano?
Oh, it is?
Shout out, Diablo partner. What is the equivalent
Is the
pit
Twitch
level
chat
of
off?
the
Go to
8
Twitch.
difficulty of like the Infernal Hordes? Pit
What
level,
is
I
the
guess, or
equivalent
Nightmare
pit level?
Dungeon, or monster
you're-
level.
It's coming.
Yeah, you're making me do math here.
Yeah, we just adjusted pit levels
Yeah,
too, so, good
so
luck.
tier 8 of the Infernal Hordes is going to be equivalent to about monster level. I think it's 180 to 200. So it goes up pretty high.
That's pretty late.
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So
That's like a what?
a difficult
that's
challenge
like a
for sure,
90 pit.
which is good to hear.
That's
we
like
have
a 90
question
pit.
From,
It only goes up to tier 10. So this is gonna be
Zapidas.
not that difficult.
Man, you all need easier names, I swear. Do you foresee changes in grouping in the pit to allow group play to be more efficient? There will be changes. It won't be something present in PTR. We'll talk more about it at the season 5 launch, but the team is very aware of it
What?
because we've
What
heard
is
about like, hey, it's kind of
PTR?
not great to feel like I'm getting only 50% of the rewards.
Why can't they
associated
pit
when
it in
I'm
the
a group within
PTR?
a-
Put stuff in the
a pit if
PTR.
I'm not
We're
the
a
party
player
leader
test round. When are we
specifically.
in testing the
So,
PTR?
it's something that the team's taking
We're
in,
telling the
and
same
we
stuff.
will
All right.
have an update for players before season 5, and it will be
PTR.
live, whatever change we have.
Nothing's
live
in
at
the
season
PTR.
5. So, a question from, let's see. Oh, this one's easy. Okay, Robot Jomo. What's the team's philosophy on rate of power gain? It seems that tempering, especially players, gain too much power too quickly, really removing the tension from the leveling up experience. Any chance to add more friction to tempering, materials, costs, etc.?
Yeah, we have seen a little bit of this and heard this feedback ourselves. it's kind of going in two different ways here. So the leveling experience, then how tempering messes with it, right? The leveling experience, as people probably have seen, has been sped up quite a bit, right? We do want people to be able to kind of level quickly and get to the fun of the game as quickly as possible. So we do want them, we don't want there to be a ton of friction. Like, when we first launched the game, we had the idea that, like, getting to level 100 alone was a big accomplishment, right? And we've learned that, players really want to, like, fulfill their power fantasies, get to the part where they're actually, like, incrementally increasing their character's power and finding things to use that power against. And so they enjoy that end game a lot, and we want to get them there in a reasonable amount of time. So that's the part that is like, hey, it's fine, level quicker, it's good, right? But then the other part is like tempering and kind of the tuning of the affixes. We have heard the feedback and kind of agree with it
that they wrote down.
The early tempering recipes are really, really strong, right? That was by design when we launched Season 4. One of the big kind of mandates to the team that we felt was important was we wanted, before Season 4, we constantly got the feedback and knew it was true that, your item stats weren't interesting enough and didn't matter enough and weren't very impactful and just didn't feel good, right? And so we very much like juiced them up to be very strong, and then this new tempering system that manipulates them, we made it very strong so that out the gate, our goal was that when you temper an item, you can really feel the damage. It wasn't like this incremental, oh, my damage goes up in like 10 different places here and there and now I'm strong. It was like, no, this one thing happened and you felt it and it was good. And so we're going to try and walk that line. We're going to probably go a little more in between here where, we do agree that the tempering is warping the early game experience too much to the point that it's like you pick up an item and you don't care about the stats because you just temper something on and it's like way better, right? So we don't want that, but we do still want them to feel and be really impactful. So we have heard the feedback. I don't think we have huge adjustments in Season 5 right away, but we are going to be looking at that leveling process and streamlining that quite a bit. We're having time actually in talks about that right now with various members of the team. So it will be looked at. Not tons will change in Season 5, though.
Awesome. Question from Razzle Dazzle Daris. Razzle Dazzle Daris. It's a long name to log in on. Did you say we can temper uniques? Are you open to letting us imprint affixes? I had this thought we can imprint a unique, but only once.
Yeah, going back, that was kind of what I talked about with the unique section. We right now know. No, I'm not going to say never in the future. They didn't even say anything about a
seasonal theme. They didn't even talk about a seasonal theme.
But we want them to have an identity that is very different from legendaries. One of the concerns with that is that the more that you give uniques,
that's not the issue.
The more that they just turn into legendaries with a different item color when they drop on the ground, right? Like they're actually not different in how they work. If we were able to manipulate stats, add stats, all those things. So we do want them to have a different identity in the game. So we're not doing it now, but in the future, we've talked about it. We're open to the idea, but we do want to try this first of like double down, what makes it unique.
We got to see the notes,
and then you build around it. Except there's a little bit of friction.
Maybe there's some better notes.
Rather than just turning it into the item that you want every time.
Yep. Question from Barrick is, hey, Adam, or Adams. I have a question for the Q&A. How is the dev team feeling about the reception of Season 4? Is that making them rethink any plans for future seasons? I mean, I think one thing that we can most definitely call out here is, like, obviously Season 4 has been really great. Like, we've been hearing a lot of great feedback from players. And, we're very well aware of, like, how everyone's been enjoying it. I think one huge thing that's helped with that as well was, like, the idea that we had a PTR for Season 4, and now we're seeing that again for Season 5. So, like, we know, like, having that moment where players can actually jump in, provide feedback, give us some notes on specific things is really beneficial, especially when we have, like, new huge features like what we did for Season 4, which was, obviously tempering, masterworking, the pit, all new hell tides. There was a ton of new features, and then of course with Season 5, players are now going to be able to run through Infernal Horde, tons of new gear, and legendary aspects for them. So it's just like a ton of stuff that we know that we can most definitely take feedback on, and having those moments has really helped us with some of those decisions.
I will try it. We're going to give them a shot. There's a lot of new legendaries. We have to see what the Sork has. I mean, come Tuesday,
was a huge deal.
We have to see what the Sork has.
Especially on the balance and design side to,
we got to do it. It's our duty, man, as a sorcerer.
Another thing I may call out with Season 4 is that...
Yeah, he's a blinker. Yeah, I've met a lot of people like that, though. That is a common thing to be like...
you know, there's been a lot of disruption to the game.
Yeah,
right?
I've met people
and
that
so
that's how they talk.
When there's that much disruption of, like,
I think
you know,
they just
we
don't
update
like
all
to
the
like
corn paths and
focus
all
on
the items and
anything.
everything. You know, it's very difficult to
Like
get
they
things
have
into
trouble
a
like looking
fine-tuned
someone in the
state,
eye. Like
right?
I'll look
And,
you
you know,
right in the eye. I
without giving
swear I'll
anything
look you
away,
right in
we
the eye.
have
I'll
big
talk to you
updates
all
coming
day
in the
like
future
this.
with, you know,
I won't
expansion
blink
and other
once.
things. But one of the
Some
things
people
that
don't do that
we're
though,
looking
you know.
forward to, I think, as a
I
team
blink.
is
I don't.
when
I
we've
don't.
kind
I
of
don't.
settled down a little
Confident to
bit
look in your
on
eyes and
the
talk to
big
you. If I want to have a
disruptions,
conversation, if you want me to look right at your face, not your
and things
nose,
like that,
look right in the eyes,
because
baby.
you know, it becomes
Right in
a
the
lot more
eyes.
difficult to fine-tune things like balance, or even on the design side, like designs and making sure that they work and that we're like iterating and upgrading things versus, you know, changing things around in huge ways. So while we think it was really successful and we're happy with how Itemization 2.0 turned out, the team is looking forward to like making the things as they are and make them work better and more do fine-tuning work. And so I think you can expect in the future as a player, you know, after we've done some more disruption and made the game like in a really good place, we're very
the
happy
whole
with it.
like
Really
staff thing is just like too much of an update for
that you have tighter class balance, tighter
we'll just make
designs,
a
tighter
pair of pants
rules
that
for
work better with
things,
chain
and just,
lightning.
you know, one of the things that excites me and excited the team about Season 4 was like the tons of quality of life improvements and how much of an impact that makes on players, which I think we knew, but it hit home in Season 4, right? Like just the Codex of Power, how that changed and how that completely fixed, you know, the hoarding of items and things like that. I think are what really jazz us a lot, because it just makes that flow experience better, like the boss ladder, you know, being able to reset bosses, stuff like that. I think is actually really impactful and good for the longevity of the game. So we're excited to do more things like that.
All right. Last question that we have here is well, it's just Satan's.
Oh,
Satan's with a Z and 666 afterwards. Very good
Very
theme.
Diablo.
Yeah,
Perfect.
very Diablo theme. Is specifically asking, what is the seasonal theme? Or are we like holding back any information right now regarding that and stuff? Dan, I don't know if you want to clarify here, or if you want me to, you can.
All right, so we haven't announced the name for the season yet, as far as I know, but the seasonal theme seems, I guess, fairly obvious. You know, we're going back to hell, and so the theme is pretty much returning to hell. And while the Infernal Hordes is just one part of that, the rewards are another part. And when we have our Season 5 live stream, we'll go into all of the rest of the things that we have planned for Season 5.
Exactly. Yeah, we have some additional stuff to talk about when we do actually have our Season 5 live stream. We're just right now the biggest focus for this stream is for people to hear about the content that they're going to be able to play in PTR, and we want people to really hone in and focus in on that. So we can actually get that feedback for the team here, and we can make any changes that we may need to. Yeah. So, but yeah, that is kind of going to wrap us up for today for our Q&A. I'm going to lightning round like a few quick things because I'm sure chat will kill me if I don't call it out. I know we're getting a lot of questions about loadouts. It is, again, still something that we are very well aware of, and we still plan on. It just takes a lot of time. It's a huge amount of overhaul changes loadouts and everything from that end. Separately, we this has been coming up a lot. Auction house. There are currently no plans right now for something like that, but we hear you guys. We feedback, things like that. Let us know. But right now, those are the two big things that I've been seeing.
That's
a ton
season
in chat.
6.
I just want to address them before people go like, "You're not reading."
Understood. That's going to be season 6.
You're in some like alternate universe chat or something like that. But PTR again, just to remind everyone, starts next Tuesday. It runs for 1 week. It's on PC BattleNet only. Please provide feedback on our forums, Reddit, social media, our community Discord, things like that.
It's just
we're
that new
always looking
endgame,
around.
I guess.
We really value the feedback that you get from these PTR processes. And of course, at the same time,
maybe there's some notes. There's supposed to be some notes.
Are live immediately after the stream. So
right,
check out Diablo4.com when those do get up. Next time you guys see us, next time we stream, is July 18th. It's the Spirit-Born reveal.
Ooh,
yeah, exciting. Everyone gets to check out the Spirit-Born. So We'll be back live on stream on July 18th. We'll be revealing a brand new class coming to Diablo 4.
Preston, thanks for the sub, man.
Vessel of Hatred. So
Much
really excited
appreciated.
about that. And
we need subs for
yeah,
sword buffs.
I think that wraps it up.
Subs for buffs.
I want to give a huge shout out to Dan in Albany.
Yeah, thank
Stay
you,
cool,
Dan.
Dan.
Yeah.
Enjoy the AC.
Cool.
The
The burning fire under him.
Yeah, I
is all
know,
see.
exactly. And thank you again, Adam Jackson. And from everyone on the Diablo 4 team, we wish you a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in PTR next week.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.
That's it. That's it. We got PTR of season 4 coming out. No, we'll see. We'll see. All right, hold on real quick. Let me see if I can find these Diablo notes. Well, we got to see what the notes say. They said you could go to Diablo forums. Let's see if they're here. Where is it at? No. Where are they going to upload it? I don't know. Yeah, they didn't like give us all the information. That's the thing. Like there wasn't really a ton of information that we were hoping for. There's a lot. They said 50 new legendaries and uniques total. So that's a pretty hefty amount. It might be something special. But I would like to read the full notes if they put it up here. I don't know where they're going to put them. Anyone else see them? This is old stuff. Where's the notes, baby? Campfire notes. Nothing? What did Vern get them? Put them in our news channel? Nothing yet. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there any notes anywhere? They said as soon as the stream's over. $10 per class, so each class is getting 2 uniques and 8 legendaries. That's what it sounds like. They hoodwinked you. That's funny. All right, when we get the full notes, what we'll do is we'll make a video around them, because I don't see the notes here on anything that is going on. I mean, the best thing is you don't need to leave the dungeon to reset the boss. Yeah, I mean, Vern, hopefully they show us all the notes on that stuff. Like, we need to see that. Because I like the new endgame stuff. I like that you don't have to do the pits just for blast or master working. I mean, you could do something else. Maybe you won't get penalized for being in a group. They said something about that, but it's not coming to the PTR. So everything was just not coming to the PTR, though. Which is fine, but I want to test the stuff. need a cup of coffee. I need a cup of coffee and I need these notes. You're happy they're nerfing immunity? Yeah, I'm happy if they're nerfing immunity if they buff something else. I don't care about... Yeah. That's true. Yeah, you know what? It really isn't fun just looking at the flame shield bar. That hasn't been too fun. I'm going to make a bunch of builds without it. What's up, Spanky? We were just watching the Campfire chat. It's all done now. We're looking for the notes, though. We're looking for the notes that they said we're going to release right after Season 5. They said the notes were going to release right after the Campfire chat. Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh, I found it. Let's share this. Could you guys see this? Wait, I can make it bigger. I think I found it. All right, this is everything Diablo 4 Season 5 PTR. Let's freaking go. Let's talk about everything it is. PTR comes out Tuesday the 25th. We already knew that. Good stuff. Only PC. Sorry, Xbox. Sorry, guys. Sorry, PlayStation. You can character boost. The Codex of Power is going to be fixed. Last time it reset. Every time you reset your character or change your character or whatnot, your Codex of Power reset. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen. There's a new endgame mode called Infinite Hordes. The mode will allow you to basically do an infinite encounter of waves of enemies with the FEL, the Phil console at the end of it. It's the console from Diablo 2. You get materials that include masterworking materials and then items with the greater FX on it. Hopefully you get 3. So you get different chests after you kill the console, the Fel console. There's new weapons. Oh, they put the pictures of them on here. 50 new uniques and legendary items coming to Season 5. Target farmed in the Infernal hordes. So we're going down to the sword, the staff. Man, I don't know about this staff, man. It's just maybe. Actually, maybe this could work with those chain lightning pants. Maybe it's possible. Uniques now could be farmed in the Hell Tides, which is kind of cool. You could get it from Hotel or Obols, and you get it from Whispers. And actually, you could get Mythic Uniques. Mythic Uniques are the new uniques, so those are something that will actually drop in the Hell Tides as well, the Obol vendors and the Whisper caches. They're increasing the quality of the uniques. Some of them should be doing more damage. Some of them should have a higher range of rolls though, so you're going to get a lot of crappy uniques and you have to wait till you get that right one. See, it says 40 to 80%. It could be 40 at 100% or 40 to 120%, which is crazy. Updating stats on them as well. This is actually just someone screenshotted the whole Wowhead just screenshotted the whole Campfire chat. That's what they did. Pedro, thank you for the sub, man. So Barbarian. Let's go to Sork. These pants again. The pants. Probably Vern. Yeah, no patch notes yet. This is just everything we just kind of went over. It's like a recap. So this is good about the quality of life for the Ice Beast, Varshan. That's good quality of life. The bosses will be resummoned. That's good quality of life. That was basically the. I'm watching for you. Thank you, man. Yeah, that was basically it, man. Tell me if the patch notes come up, because we got nothing so far. Nothing. But what I'm thinking, Vern, I'm thinking though that staff might work with chain lightning with the chain lightning pants. Let's look at the staff again. Let me get the. So let's look at the staff. That's the. And the. But the Doombringer. Ah, the Doombringer is gonna be so good for Sork now. But these pants. Where's the pants? Where's the pants, yo? Where's the pants? Oh, that's the pants. Why'd they name these pants that? All right. Maybe that with the staff? Oh, the boots. Yeah, the boots. Well, you need it now because they took cooldown reduction off of focus. It's lucky hit now. Cooldown reduction is no longer on lucky hit. So instead of Frozen Orb, everyone's gonna play Chain Lightning this season. Season 5. And then let's pull up that staff and those boots. Where's the boots? I think is that the boots? No. Where's the boots? I had the boots. Boots are good, man. We like the boots. Here they are. Why does it make it so big? Whenever you cast a spell with a cooldown, you explode, dealing that much fire damage. Fire damage, though. What would you cast with the cooldown and Chain Lightning build besides Lightning Spear? No, this is honestly these boots are for Meteor build with the Starfall. Meteor, Starfall, and these boots. Those boots are nice. The stats are really nice on them. Look at it. It's got so much all stats on it. Those are just like basic notes. That was just Wowhead trying to recap the whole Campfire chat. That was just Wowhead. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get that low cooldown reduction now that cooldown reduction like this right here. Oops. This right here. Let's look at, I should just, here, hold on. Where's the other one? Yeah, so Wand is going to be vulnerable damage instead of Lucky Hit. Lucky Hit is offhand. Nothing has cooldown reduction now. Damage to closest dagger, that stayed the same. Sword is crit damage. Do I have the staff picture too? Did I take a picture of that staff? I think I did. The Vox staff. It gives 33% attack speed though. It might be good of Chain Lightning. Actually, it might be good of Chain Lightning. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's here, let me put the image up again. So we'll leave it with that and then this. What is it called? The Vox staff? Why is it called the Vox staff? They use some weird names, yo. All right, so we got that and we got this working together. What do they work? Let's look at it. So If they buff the cameo, this might not be bad then. If they buff the cameo, because this gets 14% intelligence. But you lose so much intelligence, though. You lose so much intelligence because you'd have a GA intelligence on your focus and your weapon. Yeah, that's true. Be exploding things. Non-physical damage. Core attack speed. That's good. Basic skills. Casting a core skill. Additionally fires 2 instances of fireball. See, this thing that stinks is you can't choose which. It's not like you're gonna able to level up. You're not gonna able to rank out all your basic skills. So I'm not gonna able to get a super high rank on Firebolt, Frostbolt, and Spark. So how's that gonna help me? Like they're not gonna do good damage. I don't think. But I don't know. Because then you're adding aspects like, what is the aspect that Mongoose or whatever does more damage on basic attacks? Well, that doesn't help your chain lightning then. So core skill, what would be your core skill you'd attack with this? I guess it would have to be chain lightning, right? Matching elements. Oh, this would work good with the what is the thing that the what is it? What do you mean? Chain lightning's a core skill? Yeah, those boots of CDR will be really good. What do you mean chain lightning is a core skill? Right there, it's on my screen. Oh, well, watch, I have it. It's right there, chain lightning. Chain shock. That's actually really good pants. Could you imagine getting a quad GA on that? Oh my gosh, that's really good. Yeah, I would say that those two go good together. Because then you got chain lightning explosions and basic attack explosions. But I'm serious, this staff would go good with meteor if it. But actually, not this staff. What am I saying? The boots go good with meteor. The boots are probably gonna be good with anything. Actually, boots are really good. What am I doing? Yeah, let's take away these pictures. All right, I'm gonna give another like 10 minutes to see if these updates come out. Where's the staff? There. Boats. Anything? Anything from Blizzard Direct? Yeah, it all depends. We shouldn't try to theory craft the build just by looking at 2 items, I guess. I wish we would have got more about the seasonal mechanic and stuff. I feel like, are they trying to tell us that the seasonal mechanic is the new endgame? I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to say. It's up, Blizzard News? Where? News. Oh, here it is. Anything live today? What do you mean? All right, this is it, I think. Oops. All right, let's see what it says. All right, season 5. Season 5 PTR, what you need to know. All right, so let's see if it says anything that is not been said in the Campfire chat. Infernal hordes, we did see that. 90 seconds each. How many waves are there? Did we see how many waves there were? At the end of 90 seconds, between 3 infernals, our next wave begin. Advance to the well, hatred, field council, be the field council. Spend your burning ether on spoils of hell. Cool, we know that. We're learning some more. We're learning some more. You get a choice of 3 different banes that modify your run. Each elite creates burning ether. Choose wisely. It didn't say how to get these how to open up these as well. Spoils of hell. Okay, so this is the equipment, material, gold, greater. Okay. You said go to the codex and go to quality of life, new weapons and items. Five new legendary unique items. Season 5, okay. We've seen all this. This is everything. Oh, here it is. Oh, here's the patch notes, guys. Patch notes coming your way. Let's go to Sork. Actually, I don't know. Do you guys want to see the barb? You guys can look at the barb. I'll let you guys look. Is there any nerfs? Actually, I'm curious. Is there any nerfs to barbs? All right. I'm curious if there's any nerfs. Oh, there wasn't much to barb. Oh, we got a new tempering recipe. Percent X critical strike damage. Percent vulnerable X. What? They're adding multiplicative to tempering? No one's ever going to want to use anything besides legendaries now. Why do we even get a unique staff? That's crazy. What's up, Al? What's up? What's up? We're actually looking at the changes now. Let's look at Sark. Let's see what Sark says. Okay, we know the pants. We know the pants. Okay, new aspect. Gain 5 to 15 movement speed. This is doubled if you haven't used the defensive skill in 8 seconds. What? Gain... Okay, aspect of the Firebird. Gain the Flame Shield enchantment for free. When Flame Shield activates, meteors fall to the ground around you, dealing 50 to 7 fire damage. Okay. Chain Lightning has a 5 to 20% chance to chain an additional time when hitting a crowd controlled enemies, bosses. Will seek them as targets. What? Casting a pyro to shock or frost will increase your mana regeneration once per element. That's good, maybe for that staff. This is right on Diablo's website. What's up, Mindcrimes? No, these are not live now. This is PTR, I think. Hitting an enemy reduce the cooldown of your ultimate. Oh, tempering recipe. X chance to cast an additional charge bolt. Teleport size move from shock augments. X arc lash. To swipe twice. Okay. 1 to 2 heads on Hydrocast. X icing. Another. Okay. We need something with damage. Damage. I don't think the game is updated. This is only for season 5 PTR, I believe. I'll check though, just to be sure. No, it's not. It's not. Let me go back to that. All right. X ranks, crippling frames, snap freeze. X ranks to conduction. X arch armor. You get ranks to all these now. So it's okay. X teleport size removed. Move from shock. Something that really does more damage. All right, let's. Oh, whoa. I wonder if there's any nerfs here. Increase from 3 to 5. That's a buff. Damage increased. Combat flay. Okay. There's a lot of changes, guys. We just gotta go to Sork. Wow, there is a lot of changes. Okay, so this is some of the stuff. But they said this, that maybe this is going to be in the PTR, then all this changes. That'd be good. The test. See, this is what we were really looking for. Holy crap. I scrolled a million times already, and it's just... This is just... Okay, now we're finally not on Rogue. Crackling energy damage was increased. I like that. Max life base shield amount. Okay, so we get... Oh, ice armor is better again? No longer gains increased shield based on damage. Okay. Base damage is increased in Charge Bolt. Just your base damage by 8%. Charge Bolt explosions increased from... Okay. Charge Bolts was buffed. Good. That's a win. That's a win. Base damage increased by 2%. That's not very good. Direct damage increased 2%. Okay. Ooh, base blizzard is enhanced. Could basic blizzard be good if fought ice spikes? I don't know. Damage to frozen enemies increased 25 to 40. Okay. Oh, Hydra base damage and 2%, but the burn damage is 40% better now. Infernal base damage 20%. We don't really care about Inferno. Up to 18%. Now, Arclash gains 5 mana if you swipe enemy this once, 3 times or more on the boss, you do 50% more damage. Okay, chain lightning. Now tracks how many chain lightnings are out. Thank you for tracking that. Oh, sorry. I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'll scroll mid-page. I'll put where I'm at too. So, for each time previously, each time does increases duration. Now chain lightning bounces. It deals 10% damage for its duration up to 30%. Oh, that's a huge damage increase for chain lightning. Yeah, it's the PTR in season 5. Wait. All right, so we got flame shield. The chain lightning is gonna be the best build of the season probably. Casting a lightning spear spawns an additional lightning spear that increases the critical chance by 15%. Okay. Wizard's Blizzard, previous when you capture the skull. Okay, more mana for that. That's good. Oh, they increase the damage, but the cooldown is increased in teleport. You see that, Vern? Man, it's funny because they like changed some stuff in the mid-season patch and then they changed it again. That's so weird. Increase 5 to 7. 5 to 7. Chance to freeze 5 to 7. More crackling energy. Damage for each rank 40 to 50. Shocking impact. That's good. Base burn damage increased from 20. Okay, combustions buffed again. Oh, wow. Now when you critical strike with this is Veer's mastery. Now when you critical strike an enemy with a shock so it became charged, take 25% less damage. Critical strikes have a 10% chance to cause damage to arc as lightning damage to nearby enemy. Or if no other targets hit you again from the targets. Dude, that's a confusing. Oh, they want you to be able to play a range build. Interesting. Okay. Legendary aspects, movement speed increased. All right, let's see if there's anything good. Aspect of efficiency. Mana cost reduction. Okay, it doesn't matter. God Flames burning damage to enemies below 50% life. Increase from 15 to 30 to 35 to 45. Okay, that's a little bit. Crackling energy has a 35 to 50% shield to do 40x damage and chain to an enemy. Oh gosh, crackling energy is a lot better. Aspect of abundant energy. Oh, I was just reading that. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Critical strike with lightning spear now dealing X damage to the target and 5 other enemies. This damage is increased by your critical strike damage bonus. Oh, that's cool. That's cool too. Flame shield lets you move through enemies. Ice spike damage is increased. Now has 15% extra. Okay. Ice spike damage is increased again. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. I don't know why that is on the glacial aspect. Seasonless conduit. Oh, this is Paragon now. Paragon. This is important. Burning. Critical strike bonus been reduced 1 intelligence per 25. Oh, they put caps on it. Dude, they put a cap on this. There was no cap on this. What'd they put a cap on it for? Wow. Crackling damage reduced from 3%. And now this caps too. Dude. They capped us more. Look at real quick. Am I not logged in? I probably logged out. No, I'm here. Where's my guy? So now they're capping this. Are you serious? They're capping this. They're capping this at 60%. I have 282 and it doesn't do any damage. What? So when ice armor is active, ice spikes do more damage. Yeah, I did read that. I feel like Blizzard's gonna be good too. But why are they capping us? AO? This is a useless node. I'd say. Crackling energy. Damage reduced from 3% per intelligence to 1% per 125 and caps at 60. Nobody was doing crazy damage with this. I don't understand. That's weird. Okay, you get a better damage bonus from Unleashed. This might work good with those pants. Unleashed. I know. I don't get it. Wow. All right, we're going to test all this out on Tuesday. So I'm off work Tuesday, guys. So on Tuesday, I will be streaming when this comes out. We're going to have to be very strategic about how we test things too. We can't just stay on one build. We have to like literally test all the different builds. So we're going to be putting out a lot of content come Saturday. There's a governor, a Lamborghini that has a governor set at 80 miles per hour. I don't understand the caps. This Burning Instinct too. That's why we were procking last night. We were procking with, what was it? Enderos. I don't know. Unleashed does look good. It's going to be good with the chain lightning pants. Tuesday, we'll be put some things together for the PTR. Yeah, the chain lightning is going to be a fun build this season, I think. There's got to be something with that staff too. They can't make like a staff and not like made a really good build with it. I think that we'll figure that out. But they didn't really tell us anything about the season 5, so the boots too. AO, did you see the boots? The boots are really nice. You need a stack. You know what's gonna? Yeah, damage reduction, man. Stack damage reduction. Yeah. I know. I don't understand the caps. I'm still like those nodes are absolutely not worth it to get unless it wasn't working right. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe these. Oh, sorcerer, fix an issue where Veer's mastery applied to none. Oh, they didn't have any fixes for Sorg, barely. The Nightmare Dungeon seems, it feels like that was all of them anyways. Potions can be used during crowd control. Try to see if there's anything else. Yeah, nothing really. Nothing there. Ice Ball is really good. I think Blizzard's gonna be really good. Blizzard and Chain Lightning. Those are gonna be the two builds. I'll probably just play Chain Lightning to start off. Yeah, I think so. Blizzard's good too because the damage reduction. This new lightning spear thing might be good too. This must be broken. I'm assuming this is broken because it's going down to 60%. I have it at 282%, guys. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, I think the pants are gonna make it what's really good. I agree. So that means we'll have to have a chest with like armor, HP, mana per second, or something like that. But I put this on my build here. Damage the close on flicker step. Damage reduction on the pants, on the chest, and then Shaco. I feel pretty tanky actually, even with only 13,000 life. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's where we're at. All right. I was only streaming for an hour and a half, and I'm already past that. So I do have to get going. It's almost 4 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in to the Campfire chat. We'll be streaming a lot on Tuesday of the PTR, so we can actually figure out what's going to be good and what's going to be a great build for season 5. So it's 3 a.m. Good night. Night, AO. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. I'll probably put a cleaner video out tomorrow about the updates, so everyone could see it that hasn't seen the stream. All right, thanks guys. Later.